Done. I created a sample model binding example. Here you see the program.cs and everything. Now you go here. First you have to don't do anything here right now. Okay. First you have to do is you have to create a solution explorer where you create a folder called controllers. Controllers. Right? Under the controller, you will have a class name called employee controller. A class name called employee controller. You got my point? When you direct that class name employee controller, what is the class we can inherit?
Controller.
We can inherit controller, which is derived from the namespace using aspnet.microsoft.aspnet.core, under which you will have public iAction result employee is a method. Public iAction result as a employee. Here you have to return content. You have to pass the content as employee controller index method, or home method we can put. That's the best to understand. Home method. Employee controller home method. Okay. Now I created a controller. Then what is your next step? I want to register this employee controller in program.cs file under the builder method. How to add that in a builder method? Register the controller in the web application builder method. So how to do that, ma? Builder dot, come on, builder dot services dot add controllers. This is how you have to register your controllers. When you add a controller, it will pick all the controllers with the class name by this. Any class you created with the employee controller, product controller, or service controller, anything, the suffix of the controller will be detected by this one and identify those classes are controllers. After that, what you will do? App dot, what you need to do? Use static files. Anything you add as a static file, you need to add app dot routing. App dot use routing. And then app dot map controllers. Map controllers. Because when you add the particular stuff, when the routing is detected, it automatically maps the controller. Now let's see the program. And before that, what you need to do? You need to call here as a route. Simply say employee. Now build the project. Say I never done anything so far with model. I'm just going to briefly explain how the model binding works. This is most important topic. That's why I'm taking some time. Okay. So you have to listen carefully. Now I'm trying to run through IAS Express. Trying to run through IAS Express. Now put a breakpoint here. Slash employee. See, now you got the employee. Preeti, you got the employee controller?
Yes, sir.
Done. Sir, I want to pass employee ID as 101, logged in equal to true like this. How to detect this? It will work, it will not work. How to detect this in this controller? Simply what you need to do, slash, you have to say employee ID slash is logged in. Right? This is one way you can handle. These are called as route parameters. These are called as route parameters. Now, how are you going to detect that route parameter? Int employee ID, comma, boolean is logged in. These two parameters will be detected by this. Now, build the project. Will succeeded, run it. Now, what you will do the what is your URL, ma? URL is employee slash 101 slash true. So 101 will detect for employee ID, true will detect for is login. Now see, the employee ID got 101. Employee ID got 101. Chaitanya?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Similar way, is login will be detected by true. Or you got my point? So this URL, I copy this URL. I'll tell you the notes. See, employee controller home method executed. Now go to the notes. Model binding definition I will give you. Before that, route parameter detected by controller containing action method. Controller containing action method. This is the URL. Here, 101 is employee ID route parameter. Employee ID route parameter. Here, true is login is logged in. Is logged in parameter. These are all the two things. Right? And sir, I want to have a query string. Instead of employee, I want to build this as a query string. How to do that? I take a one more controller. I take a one more controller, public iAction result, public iAction result. I can say get employee, which will be more understandable. Get employee, return content, employee controller, query string value. Query string value. You detected a query string value. How to pass the query string of this employee? Now you say here, my route is get employee. Right? My route is get employee. And you know, when I call the get employee, it automatically detects this. Let's see that. I remove the breakpoint. I added a breakpoint. Now, get employee enter. See, it is directed or not? Get employee method.
Yes, sir.
Done. On top of that, I'm going to pass employee ID equal to 101 ampersand is logged in. Is logged in equal to true. Let's see whether it is directed or not. It is directed. But the point here is, I do have one more parameter. Hold on a second. Control Shift Q. Request dot query of. What is your parameter name? What is your parameter name? Employee ID. You see, I got the 101. You see, I got the 101 or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because in the request, it considered as an employee ID. Now, if you pass logged in. So now you understand how you get the route parameter, how you get the query string object.
Yes, sir.
I got my point. So based on that, you are going to get the value. Now, how are you going to do that? First, if you will write a condition. What is your condition? If routes dot no. What I said? Routes
dot.
Routes dot request. No. Something going wrong. Route builder or route context? Route data dot query. No, man. Sorry, request dot query of employee ID. This one I'm going to use if not, I'm going to say equal to null. What you will write here? No, you have to convert this into string. So better what I can do, I can remove this. I'll take this value and assign to the variable and I will write the conditions. That's the best idea. So what I will do, employee ID always be an integer. So what I'm going to do, int employee ID equal to convert dot to int of 32, where I'm going to use this and done. Now I'm going to say if employee ID equal to 0, return content, return bad request. Because yesterday we discussed bad request, right? So here you say, please pass employee ID. This is one parameter, right? And this is one way of handling the request. And second way, if employee ID greater than less than equal to 1000. Okay. Greater than ante enti?
The employee ID is greater than equal to 1000. Is correct?
Is correct, right?
Yeah,
Greater than 1000. You have to make a return bad request saying that employee ID between 1 and 1000. Okay, I'm going to say this. If everything goes well, what I will do, I will If these two conditions are satisfied, I will return the employee controller. Another one, I need to take logged in. Bool is logged in equal to false. Instead, I'm going to say convert dot to int of 32 request dot query of, I say is logged in. This is going to be two boolean. Now, guys, I have one more question. If the query of employee ID not detected in this, it will create a problem. So what you need to do? If not request dot query dot contains key, you have to say whether the key is detected, you get the employee ID. Or you got my point. So what you are going to do? You are going to take the key, whether you are having a key or not. Okay, you are going to validate it. If the content key not available, you copy this, say, please pass employee ID as a query string. This is one more validation you have to put. Because if the employee ID as a query string is not available, you cannot able to convert that. Am I right or wrong? And yes. Then if not request dot query contain key, what you will say is logged in, you have to put. There you can say please pass logged in status as a query string. Done. Now build the project. Say I'm not passing any query string here in the get employee. You see here in the get employee, did I pass any query string?
No.
No, right? Now I'm running. Now it got nothing. Simply say get employee, enter. Now what will happen? This request.query content key will look for employee ID.
Yes, sir.
Now you see, it is false. It is false because it doesn't contain
any key.
It doesn't contain what? Employee ID key.
Yeah.
Now you see, it is returning false.
Yes, sir.
So if this doesn't contain employee ID key, F10, sorry, F11, see, now it is returning a bad request. What is your bad request? Please pass employee ID as a query string. Now copy this. Pass employee ID equal to 101. Enter. Now coming back, it is detecting the employee ID. Oh, sorry. You have to pass this is logged in. Okay, done. Build. Now IAS Express. You pass get employee ID question mark employee ID equal to 101. Enter. Now it is detecting F11. Again, it is throwing an exception as a bad request. What is the bad request? You have to pass the logged in status. And then how to pass the logged in status? Ampersand pass equal to true. Enter. Now F11. Hey, it got right. Okay. Something wrong. Enter. Now it got the content. It got both. Now all match. It is coming to the stuff. Okay. But sir, did I made any validation on is logged in? I detected the employee ID, but I never write any code on the logged in. Before checking the employee ID, always you have to check whether the user is logged in or not. So what I'm going to do is logged in equal to true, equal to false. I have to say bad request. What is my bad request? Please log into the system. Please log into the system, I am saying. Okay. Now save this, run. Get employee, question mark, enter. Now go here, true. It detect everything, finally done. If you pass is logged in equal to false, what will happen? What will happen? Come on. It create a bad request. Now see, log into the system. Now you all understand how the query parameter, how the route parameter is working. Sir, I have one more question. Instead of, I am going to pass both query parameter as well as routes. How I am going to pass the route? Here I am going to say 105, comma, true. This URL will detect from which value. Click on enter, nothing will work. Why? Because you have to go here. You have to go here, say int ID, comma, bool, logged in. Listen carefully. I had created a two variable. I had created a two variable like this. Now try to run. Here I'm going to pass get employee, and there I'm going to pass 105, comma, false. Am I passing route parameter? You see here, these two are route parameters. These two are route
parameters.
And these two are what? Query string parameter. Right? 105 false is a route parameter. Employee ID equal to 101 is a query string parameter. Now you got both route parameter as well as query string parameter. Now you try to enter, it is not detecting. Why? Okay. There you have to say from route. You have to say from route. So here you have to say from query. Now you see, okay. Okay. I made a mistake. I'll tell you. So if you pass for string parameter in the get employee ID, you need to pass like this. ID slash, you remove this right now. Logged in. Done. Now it will work. Get employee ID is login. There you pass 105, comma, false. Enter. Now it got detected. See, what is the URL I passed? What is the URL I passed? My URL is 105 is ID, false is logged in, and I'm also passing the corresponding parameter. But my project will detect ID as 105. You see, 105 got detected. Priti?
Yes.
Nitin? Chaitanya?
Yes, sir.
And similar way, you can have is logged in. You see, is logged in. False. Yeah. Am I right or wrong? On top of that, it also detects the query string. You see. It also get the query string. So both route as well as query string will be detected. Both route, query string will be detected. But sir, in the same case, this one should come from route, this one should come from query. So how I can detect that? By using an attribute, but they won't use in real time, but you need to understand. The ID value should come from route. So what you will see from route. And say Boolean is coming from where? From query. No, you have to use a action, a kind of stuff like this. Remove, delete. You say from query. Now what happened? When you build the project, I no need to get all these validations. It will get commented. Because I got the value directly from the ID. Copy this ID. These two also get commented. I take the ID here. I'm also taking the ID here. That's all. Now go back. I'm going to use logged in. Take that logged in here, use it. Now build. Run the express. Because I'm directly getting a parameter as a query string, I'm directly getting a parameter as a route. Yeah. So I'm using the same concept, get employee. But only thing is here, I'm going to pass 105. Here I'm going to pass true. where the end I'm going to pass false to make a validation. You see, enter. Now, what is your logged in? Null. Why null? Okay, variable is not matched. So place is logged in. Okay. Sorry, because of the variable name matching. And then you have to pass logged in false. There you pass 105/true. Enter. Detected. Logged in is false. ID is 105. You got it? You got it or not?
Yeah.
Now, function F11 logged in is false. Return a bad request. If you pass here true, done. So right now, it took 105 as the route value. It took 105 as a logged in based on the parameter or attribute you are passing here. What you are saying, you get ID from the route. You get logged in from the query string, even though I'm passing entire URL. So copy this URL, paste as an example so that you can understand very well. Keep this paste. So this is the URL you are going to create. Right? Anybody have any questions? Preeti, Nitin?
No.
Now, if you look into here, did I made any logic to get the value from the request? Here you got the request value, but I removed entire logic. I'm directly getting the request value as a parameter. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
This is the purpose where you go for model binding. This is the purpose where you go for model binding. Or you got my point? So now, based on this diagram, whenever you make a request from the browser, that browser will go to the route. Route will get the route parameter, query string, finally the controller action method. Am I right? Now, I'm opening a Postman. I'm opening a Postman. Allow access. Here, you copy the URL. See, automatically it is taking the param.
Yes, sir.
What are all the parameter you are passing 101? Query string as a parameter it is taking? Taking or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Preeti, Nitin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Postman is automatically taking the value when I pass it. Now click send. It will not work. Why? Because I have to.
Server is not running.
Server is not started. Now go to postman, make a request. See that it got detected. See, it got detected. Now run to see a response in the postman. Sir, if I pass here false, if I pass here false, what will happen? It will send a bad request. Please log into the system. Now, if you look into the header of the response, headers, yeah, see, you see there is a 400 bad request. Request cannot be fulfilled due to bad syntax because you are making a false. Am I right or wrong? If you make this as true, if you make this as true, and if you make this as false, it will accept. Why? Because I'm not going to check this false. Send. It will work. You get a response saying that employee controller string value is working. Or you got my point? So this is the concept of form body and form query and form route. Or you got my point? So make a notes. What is first thing? In this URL, first point, in this URL, we had both route parameter and query string parameter as well. Route parameter and query string parameter. Second point, to detect query string parameter, to detect route parameter, sorry, to detect route parameter, what you need to do, ma? Route parameter, we need to have a decoration in the header of method, header of action method using route attribute, right? So how the decoration? This is your decoration, right? This is your decoration. You are putting this decoration. The second point, third point, to detect route parameter in an action method, we need to use a method name with parameters. How the parameters will be added? This is how. You have copied this, paste it. And you don't need this one. And you don't need this one. Right? And third point, fourth point, if I need a query string, what will happen? See, I have one more point. I'll tell you. If I had a query string, how to do that? We need to use a parameter as take this entire stuff, parameter, to the action method. Copy this. Instead of use route, you simply say query. So both are getting from the query, not from the route. In the same method. In the same method signature, we need to use a parameter in the action method. parameter to same action method, right? But this fifth point here in this scenario, I need ID value get from route parameter and logged in value get from query string parameter. How to detect that? For that, you have to use this is the value. Got it? Preeti?
Yes, sir.
This entire concept will be called it as this entire concept will be called as model binding. Sir, I have one more thing. Instead of passing these many values here, I want to get a object, class object. How to do that? Go here, try to create a model. Try to create a folder. Right click, add, new folder, say models. Right? Here you say add new item, create a class called employee model. In this model, I'm going to use public int ID, public bool, take this is logged in. Yeah, is logged in, get set. Right? On that, you will have a method saying that string override to string. Here you have to pass a string as ID is and logged in is. So simply pass ID attribute. No, you have to say dollar here. And you have to say logged in. And close it. Now build that. See, I created an employee model where the model is getting all the data. Now what I'm going to do in the controller, instead of having all these things, I'm simply say employee model, saying that employee object. Now see, the model is added as a namespace, sample binding dot model. Now come back here, you copy this employee dot is logged in. Say copy dot ID. Here you say employee dot ID. Is it easy or tough? I'm not passing 10 parameters because all the parameters are clubbed in a single entity, which is called as object model. I got my point. Now, go back to the controller. You say here, the employee controller parameter is simply pass your employee object. No need to do anything. Whatever the value it is passing, that will be transferred here as a data. Now you see here, when you run the express, get logged in. Why? Okay, sorry. You remove this. Now you see the employee holds 0 true. Employee ID holds 0 true. Why? Because I passed employee ID, but it took employee model. So just go back. Instead of ID, use this. Use this. Now run the express. Okay. In the controller, you have to pass ID equal to this. You have to pass ID equal to this. Now build, run it. It take value from where? Here in the URL 105 false. The same URL I am passing, not detected. Okay, I am removing this to question mark end. Now you see the employee got the value. Got it or not? Hello? Nitin?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now try to run it. You see? What are all the URL you are passing? Logged in and true, both are getting. Or you got my point? So this is called model data or model class. I have few other things to discuss in this model class. I'm stopping here. We'll continue by tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.